Hello, this is Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. This is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. Today the weather is about 66 degrees where I'm at, going up to 76 with predicted rain showers. This is welcomed after over a month of no rain. Latest news from Britain. Don't forget about the mask. Around here, the positivity rate is about 8.5, which is a little bit more than 3% above 5%. Recommended to wear the mask as a means of preventing the spread of COVID-19 and its variants. So, news for today, Tuesday. Britain has decided on their new Prime Minister. Rishi Sunak comes with a list of credentials, as so many politicians do, and will be sworn into office later on. This means they have had 3 prime ministers in the last 2 months. 2 since Boris and 3, including him. Sports. Just for a moment, Zion Williamson had an injury on Sunday, and I was just remarking that I hadn't had a chance to see the young man play. But considering he was out for most of the season last season and is back now, he is the face of the Pelican franchise. So with Sunday's game and going out with an injury, inquiring minds want to know. The New Orleans Pelicans has given an update on Zion Williamson after he got injured on Sunday night against the Utah Jazz. Pelicans press release, injury update. Zion Williamson sustained a posterior hip contusion during tonight's game. Said he is the face of the franchise, and in 2021, he averaged 27.0 points per game. Before exiting the game against the Jazz, he had 25 points and 6 rebounds, 10 for 16 shooting in the 30 minutes of playing time. Talking about biting the hand that feeds you, the suggestion is not to do that. But we'll take a minute or two to look at Meta, based on somebody else's comments and information. Less metaverse and more layoffs. A Meta investor just wrote a scathing open letter to the company telling it to get its mojo back. I kind of understand and roll with this because for the longest time, Facebook was like a sure thing as far as investments are concerned. Even though the name has been changed to Meta, it's like, walking into a Coca-Cola company and finding a Coke. Of course you're going to find a Coke in a Coca-Cola company. So let's get on with this one. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg can't seem to catch a break. Since he changed Facebook's name to Meta last year and rebranding the company to emphasize its focus on the metaverse and augmented virtual reality, Zuckerberg's personal net worth has dropped by over $70 billion. As of Monday, Meta's share prices are down over 60% year to date. Investors aren't happy, and one went so far as to write an open letter to the company with suggestions on how to get its mojo back. Altimeter Capital Chair and CEO Brad Gerstner, whose investment firm owns 2.5 million shares of Meta, said the company has lost its focus. I guess he would be in a position to know, don't you think? Meta has drifted into the land of excess. Too many people, too many ideas, too little urgency. This lack of focus and fitness is obscured when growth is easy but deadly when growth slows and technology changes, Grissner wrote. He went on to say that the company has lost the confidence of its investors, and a lot of that has to do with Zuckerberg's obsession with the metaverse. In July of this year, Meta reported a 1% decline in its second quarter revenue compared to the same period last year. And this is the point that I'm trying to make by sharing this news item with you. Its first ever decline in revenue since going public. The site Meta attributing the setback to macroeconomic conditions, complaining about ads being available, not being available, etc. Grissner said the decline in share prices mirrors the lost confidence in the company, not just the bad mood of the market. So I thought I would put that out there. People try to give advice, suggestions, and things of that nature. Sometimes it pays to pay attention. Next up, 30 House Democrats urge Biden to negotiate with Russia or cracking support for White House Ukraine strategy. Excuse me. Little cough, allergies, etc., etc. A group of liberal Democratic representatives wants Joe Biden to negotiate with Russia. They say they want to avoid a prolonged conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The U.S. has provided Ukraine with $60 billion in aid and says it's up to Kyiv whether to negotiate. Short and sweet, but all of this coming up with politics. November voting, depending on where you are. I think it's the 6th around here for local government officials and politicians. Skipping over to the entertainment, and this one is off of Netflix. Mila Kunis' Netflix film needs giant warning after viewers complain over graphic scenes. This is the one entitled Mila Kunis, A Star. Anyway, the luckiest woman alive, luckiest girl alive. Okay. This kind of sets the scene because I did watch a portion of it, and right what is being talked about right here is kind of like when I kind of backed away a little bit, and I don't know what else to tell you. So they're saying, they meaning Twitter users, et cetera, are saying that they should have a giant warning on it because I took it to be about a school shooting, which would have been enough in and of itself to have to watch without these added scenes and inside information going on with it. So let me share it with you like this. Luckiest Girl Alive became a hit on Netflix overnight and was the most watched film on the streaming site across October 3rd through the 9th, clocking up more than 43 million hours viewed. Even weeks later, it still remains in Netflix top 10 films in the in UK, currently in 5th spot. It sees the return of much-loved Ukrainian actress Mila Kunis take the lead role of Annie Fornelli, a woman who has sought to reinvent herself in adult life and appears to have it all: a rich and handsome fiance and a job at a women's glossy magazine. But as she is approached by a director for a new documentary, she is forced to confront her dark past, which saw her gang raped as a teen by her classmates and later escape a school shooting. Excuse me. Now, the author says the hit film is based on the novel of the same name by Jessica Knoll, which was based on her own experiences. So the article goes on to elaborate and to expound on the fact that there should be a huge warning related to the rape scenes in the movie, because there are many victims and survivors who would be affected by these scenes. On that point, I agree. So it's one of those things. I haven't watched it to the conclusion, so I can give you a final analysis. But that's where I stopped. The part where she tells her boyfriend that she's pregnant, I just kind of like stopped right there. So if you want to find out more about it or have an opinion on it, The Luckiest Girl Alive, starring Mila Kunis. So we're talking about things. You know that marijuana in a lot of states, I think 19 is legal per se, in the context of recreational smoking. So it brings up a point, and for this one, my thing is yay or nay. Here's the content. Snoop Dogg's Pro Blunt Roller reveals rapper smokes up to 150 joints a day. Excuse me. Okay, that's the yay and nay. Do we have any experienced marijuana smokers out there would like to weigh in on 150 joints a day? I don't know if this means Snoop Dogg by himself or Snoop Dogg with a gang of his friends or crew. But let me get into it. But yay or nay, 150 joints a day. Do you think it's possible to smoke that many? Little known being a blunt. Just a joint now. We're not talking about a blunt. We're talking about a joint. Anyway, let's get on with it. Snoop Dogg's expert blunt roller has revealed that the flamboyant American rapper puffs up to 150 marijuana joints every day. Renowned actor and rapper 51 resides in California, where it is allowed to use marijuana for recreational purposes, and has been paying a joint roller a full-time salary since 2016. Now, see, at first when I read it, I kind of thought it was like a joint rolling machine. I guess I'm kind of speaking up right now. Well, it's Tuesday anyway, October 25th. So anyway, I thought it was a joint rolling machine. But it's not a joint rolling machine. It is a real live person. Okay? So let's get on. The staffer who went by the alias Renegade appeared on the Kyle and Jackie O show on October 25th and disclosed almost 450,000 joints. Excuse me. Her role for Snoop Dogg during that period. And again, I'm not sure if it's talking about like 2016 to now, or, you know, whatever the period was. I calculate it over 450,000 I do about half a pound a day, which is 75 to 150 joints. She told radio host Kyle Sandilands and Jackie O. Henderson, according to the Daily Mail. Now, for you non-initiates, a loaf of bread weighs a pound. And that's pretty much your visual, for when you say a pound of marijuana. So a half a pound every day, I'm just, calculating, let my mind run with it. It's a lot of marijuana. A lot of marijuana. And I mean, it's not like giving out $5 on the corner, to strangers, So anyway, he says Renegade, I'm going to teach you something Tupac taught me, and then showed me how to roll a blunt, Kyle explained. So we'll pause there. So the article goes on to expound on, if you remember, for a while, Snoop had said that he was not going to smoke, and he did have a period where he abstains from smoking. And it's kind of like based on what he says in the article, conversation he had with his mother about, if you're going to do something, be about it. Don't be hypocritical, because at one point he was saying, don't do drugs. And the whole time he was saying don't do drugs, he was high as he could be. So he decided to actually give it a go and stop smoking marijuana. And then he got involved in other things like coaching young people in football and things like that. So for those periods, he said he did not smoke. But then it came back to a point where he decided he was going to smoke. It was key to his success, being able to smoke some marijuana. And in California, if you're going to do it, I guess that's the best place to be, being that as it is. So time has rolled by. That's 2016 information, and now we're in 2022, 6 years ago. And from time to time, I've advised you of Snoop's business dealings and his involvements in various ways he's been making money. So again, that leads me to doubt that 150 joints, 75 joints a day himself, he would probably just be waking up to light another one and then going back out again. That's just my opinion, And if somebody with more experience and a different opinion is willing to give it something in the comments, be my guest. So anyway, all that being said, he recently has announced that he has teamed up with TSUMO Snacks to introduce Snazzle O's, a new brand of cannabis-infused savory snacks. His range, which includes the flavors, now this again, excuse me about that cough, allergies. This again, his range of flavors tends to make one think that yes, he has done the full 150 joints a day. Flavors onion and spicy onion will go on sale this month according to Essence. Onion and spicy onion for cannabis-infused edibles. What else can I tell you? So, between those articles, there's a crunch more, as you probably can look at yourself at your convenience, but those are the ones that struck my interest. This is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. Today is Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. That's it. Hashtag.